Hey guys, this is Uday Senan here. I just got back from watching Batman vs Superman with one of my friends, Sriram.
Hey guys,
Dude. Okay.
surprise!
Thank you. So we have Sriram here, and we wanted to discuss about Batman vs Superman because this is something that's highly anticipated, and people are literally looking forward to this movie, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, both of us from the time we've been children, we wanted to actually see both of them coming on screen, and I think we also had debates on who will win, right? So I'm sure most of you also had the same kind of questions, and now that we have seen this movie, let's have a discussion.
Let's do this.
So Batman versus Superman. I think the first thing that hit me while watching the movie is the cinematography. We have some amazingly shot action sequence and also general shots. They were amazingly shot, right? And you have Zack Snyder's signature slow motion scenes, and then you have saturated colors coming on the screen. That's something that's very typical of him.
Very true. And one thing that really stuck out to me as soon as the start is how they've very successfully managed to combine Batman's backstory in a span of less than 3 minutes. For those of you who've been living under a rock and don't know about Batman's backstory, Zack Snyder's got you covered.
Okay, now talking about Batman, if you've been thinking this is Nolan's Batman versus Zack Snyder's Superman, you've got it wrong. No, really wrong. This is Zack Snyder's Batman versus Zack Snyder's Superman.
Exactly. So you'd expect Batman to be this intellectual, cold, calculating bastard, right? But the Batman that you see here is more emotional. He's more temper-driven, and you see him make a lot of impulsive decisions that may seem very odd to you if you're used to, Christopher Nolan's Batman. And in the same vein, Superman, we see a Zack Snyder's version of Superman as he evolves from being the rookie superhero that he was in Man of Steel, which is the prequel to this movie. We see him moving on to be a more veteran superhero, public hero, so to speak. And we see his character evolve, or should I say devolve, from being a public hero to a public enemy. And we see his trials and tribulations of how he deals with it and how he deals with Batman through the story.
But see, one thing I fail to understand is that in this movie, particularly, even Man of Steel, Superman is portrayed in today's world, right, where everyone has smartphones, everyone has access to TV, television, press, whatever, and information is on your fingertips, right? So how do they expect us to believe that Clark Kent and Superman are two different people?
Well, Clark Kent has the glasses and the curly knot of hair, right?
Really? So if you take your glasses right now, you're gonna be Superman, is it? No, but seriously, it reminds me of old Indian movies where wearing a mole is enough of disguise.
Speaking of moles, Ben Affleck has this mole on his face, right? And it hilariously appears in his bat costume as well, because the bat costume only covers till half of his nose. So any observant reporter or any observant person walking in the night could clearly make the connection between Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Dude, that's the bat mole.
Wait, what? But on a serious note, Ben Affleck there was a lot of skepticism about Ben Affleck portraying the role of Batman because, again, to draw an analogy with Christopher Nolan's Batman, a lot of them were used to seeing Christian Bale as a Batman, and there was a lot of skepticism about whether Ben Affleck will be able to pull it off. And I must say he does a pretty good job. He does a pretty good job of playing a middle-aged, conflicted, slightly emotional Batman, which is what Zack Snyder was going for.
But thinking about it, are these actually Batman traits?
Now that you mention it, one of the most jarring aspects about this movie, in terms of the characterization of Batman and Superman, was the fact that they seem to have no qualms in killing people. Now, as a comic book fan myself, that is something that I cannot forgive Zack Snyder for, and it's something that still, nags me even after I've left the theater.
Being an ardent fan of Batman, I mean, personally, I feel Batman wouldn't even think of killing anyone, even in his dreams, right? And when you actually see him going around killing people, that kind of actually hurts me. I would say very sentimentally, first of all. And for me, Batman was so different from everyone else just because of his moral values. I would say Batman and Superman for that, right?
Fair enough.
But then when you see a movie taking a different course, then I don't know, everything that I had Batman, separated from the others, it looked like Mr. Zack snatched away from me.
Come to Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor played by the wonderful Jesse Eisenberg. As you all know, I think Lex Luthor is one of the positives of this movie, honestly, because considering how well they've portrayed the character, how well Jesse Eisenberg is able to bring the character to life as this quirky, evil, some mad scientist who kind of believes that Superman is an alien and he doesn't belong in our world. I think Jesse Eisenberg really shines through in this character, and it's one of those roles that sticks with you once you leave the movie theater. It's one of those roles that you go back and you kind of think, hey, that was quite a good role.
Hey, I would actually totally agree with you, but the only thing I felt was this movie had a lot of promotion, which I still don't understand. Why would a franchisee like this go into so much of promotion?
Very in your face.
Yeah, when you have a character like Batman, and when you have a character like Superman, and then you have a Wonder Woman, okay, why would you need promotion? I mean, why would you need to promote such a movie to reach bigger mass? I mean, it's already happening. It sells like hotcakes, right? So what happened is, when all these promotional videos and trailers and teasers came out, I think Lex Luthor's character was already revealed, and I couldn't see more to it than what was already revealed in the trailers. So I think that was the only defect, because generally when you look at these kind of characters, they have conflicting moral values, they have so much of sarcasm, so much of dark side of them, which is not revealed, right? And then you go to the theater and you get awed by the performance. So I think that wasn't there in this movie. Although he's played his role exceptionally well, I feel they could have revealed more in the movie and held back more during the promotional videos and the trailers.
And now we finally come to the character we've all been waiting to talk about, Wonder Woman.
Oh, dude, she is so beautiful. No, but seriously, I mean, I think something that's been, I would say Wonder Woman was the best thing that's happened to me in this whole movie. And I don't know, she is exceptionally beautiful, number one. Number two, I mean, it's like the cherry on the top, she's able to fight big monsters, right? That I don't know. I mean, I just felt happy looking at her on the screen.
Funny you should say that, because I agree with you, but I happen to have the same beef that you have with Lex Luthor, with Gal Gadot. Because almost everything was revealed in the trailer, right? It was shown that there was going to be a Wonder Woman, firstly, and who she was. Her face was revealed very clearly. The fact that she is going to be fighting
Doomsday.
The fact that she was going to be fighting Doomsday, and the fact that she was going to meet Bruce Wayne at a party, and they're going to hit it out there. So pretty much everything that you saw in the movie happened in the trailer. So there was a lot of giveaways, I would say, in the trailer. So there was nothing new that I got from actually watching the movie. Though there were some cool fighting sequences, like you said. Completely agree there. But in terms of character development, not so much.
So I might have been carried away by her looks, but yes, I must agree to what you said. Now, let's talk about the plot.
The plot, yes. So, the plot, again, the major problem we keep saying this again and again, is because it is a major problem. They revealed way too much in the trailer. So, the plot, again, is almost textbook what you would expect from a trailer, right? So there's a lot of foreshadowing that happens. There's a very relatively tense scene, and it's supposed to be foreboding of something very sinister that's supposed to be happening in the future. But in your head, you know exactly what's going to happen, and you know that A is going to lead to B and B is going to lead to C. It's a very linear plot, very vanilla plot. And although I agree that most superhero movies do tend to have that, again, a lot could have been left to the imagination in the trailer if it had been done smartly. But unfortunately, there was nothing new that we got from the plot apart from what we got from watching the trailer. It is exactly like how I think I imagined it in my head, at least, and it turned out to be exactly the same way.
True. I would say I don't think the makers could have done anything more with the plot when you look at it from a very high level. But then when you break it down into details, I think they could have definitely had much more having to it. The only thing I felt was too much in this movie. There are two angles to it. The VFX was good, right? The effects were good, but then I think there was too much of them, right? Now when you don't, I mean, that VFX is something that would enhance the movie, and the whole movie shouldn't be of VFX. And I think, again, this is Zack Snyder's style, so I wouldn't blame him. This is how he makes his movies. But I felt that, I mean, again, now what I felt was missing, or what I felt could have been better, is the makers could have actually hold on to this plot, say for another 2 movies, and included 2 other plots where they gradually introduce these characters, like the new version of Batman, so that people are inducted well, right? I mean, they actually get used to the new Batman that they're trying to introduce. So I think they could have worked on that angle rather than just coming with one. I think they're just trying to get on to Justice League too fast. I mean, to keep pace with Avengers.
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. With regard to the VFX, a very characteristic element of any Zack Snyder movie, you have all of his regular tropes. Saturated colors, slow motion, black and gold. A lot of extravagant explosions in the middle of the city, and funky aliens with lasers coming out of their eyes. So you do have a lot of VFX, but again, I would say that it was used very well, definitely, to bring out the comic book element of the movie, which is necessary. But there were scenes where it was just way too much for the eye, and I was overwhelmed, honestly, by the kind of shit that was happening in front of me. So I wasn't able to focus on one thing because there was just explosions everywhere and characters talking and random romantic scenes happening in between, and all of that stuff.
Somewhere I feel they wanted to give Superman more character, and then I think somewhere down the line they forgot that Batman also needs. In fact, he's the person who needs more character.
He's new, right? Exactly.
Yeah, he's more human. I mean, he doesn't have power to himself as much, but his character and his moral values are his power, right? The moment where he chooses to sacrifice for a city more than thinking about himself, that's where he stands apart from the rest. So I think they failed to strengthen and cement on that part of his character. And I mean, he just looks like someone who can easily be triggered, easily be fooled by any news on the press. So I feel that's not very Batmanly to me.
If you're a comic book fan, like I am, I mean, not a big one, but I read comics occasionally. But the point is, if you go with preconceived notions of what Batman should be or what Superman should be, I'd say you would be grossly disappointed, because this is Zack Snyder's version of both of those characters. And he has complete artistic license to use the characters the way he wants, right? So go with an open mind, and don't go with what you think each character should be. Let them evolve in front of your eyes.
True, I would say yes, expectation would be the biggest reason why you receive so many bummers. But then at the same time, when you have Superman and Batman in a movie, you really can't hold on to your expectations, right? So that's one thing we need to think about. Anyways, you guys watch the movie and let us know what you feel right at the comment section. If you feel our discussion was really resonating your thoughts, please give us a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Until we meet again, this is Uday Senan and Sriram from United We Watch.